You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Welcome to Social Selling Simplified. I'm your host, Ashley Shaw, and I am bringing to you a very, very special 5-part training. So this training is called the 5-Day Cash Converting Challenge Masterclass. And what my team has done is they have taken the 5 days of training that you would only be able to get if you joined the 5-Day Cash Converting Masterclass, and they have helped compile it into 5 episodes for you to be able to dive in and learn along with everybody that has been running through this 5-day challenge. So the thing that I love about challenges is that it absolutely is the fastest way to build trust in a consistent process that does not require you to be spraying and praying and posting on social media. So I want you to dive into this training. It is going to be some of the best training that you have done, better than trainings you have paid for, because that is my style when it comes to master classes and putting this kind of training forward for you. So there are 5 days, and I am going to be covering everything from why I truly believe challenges supersede any other sales system and funnel that you need, all up into covering things around what kind of training that you should be doing, why you need a big idea and what that actually means, and how to run a successful challenge. So the reason that I decided to put this training together is that when I ran my first challenge, I had been having super inconsistent months, and I ran this challenge from the advice of a coach I had hired and a copywriter that was like $300 an hour that I was working with. And it came together. And during the 5 days of the challenge, we did $48,000 in sales. So I was sold after that I need to be doing challenges. And so this is the first time ever that I am talking about this behind the scenes, what actually happened, what led to this. And I'm going to be taking those 5 action-packed days full of aha moments, full of training, full of the things that you need to know if you want to run challenges. And I'm going to be bringing it to you guys right here, right now. So at the time of recording this episode, this 5-day challenge was actually supposed to be taken down on June the 6th, okay, which I actually believe at time of recording that is today. I am leaving it up for 1 more week. So if you just happen to be listening to it this week at the time of recording, which is actually June 6th is today, then you will still be able to see the live videos that are available in the Facebook group. So we'll link that in the show notes here. So if you want to jump in and see any of the videos with the slides and the graphics and things like that, then you can jump in. And if it is after time of recording, then you can apply to get into our next 5-day cash converting challenge when that happens. So sit back, guys, get your notepad ready. It's going to be jam-packed full of the things that you need to know if you are looking to run 5-figure challenges, which I definitely think is the fastest way to grow and scale your business. Guys, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to the 5-day Cash Converting Challenge Masterclass. If we have not met before, my name is Ashley Shaw, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself in the training today, but I have been in sales and the fitness and wellness industry for about the last 18 or 19 years. And I have been in the online world. I transitioned about 7 years ago. And I'm so excited to be breaking down for you guys cash converting challenges and doing some training today to really help start with mindset and getting your heads wrapped around how challenges can really be transformational for your business, especially if you're somebody that has been maybe really trying to use social media to grow your business and you're just not seeing the type of results that you used to be able to see or that you expected to see. I hear it over and over again. People have been in their business for 6, 7, 8 years, and they're just not getting the type of results they would expect from putting that much effort into something. So that is what we are going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to make sure we have everyone. I think we're good to go. We're good to get started. So if you guys can just throw in the chat for me, if you're able to hear everything okay, just give me a thumbs up there. I just want to make sure audio is good and everyone is, we're good to roll. So I think you guys can see me. Yep, I can see that you can. Okay, perfect. All right, guys, let's dive in. So over the next 5 days, I'm going to be diving into the cash converting challenge method, and I'm going to be here with you live for the next 5 days, and we'll be digging into 5 lessons, one each day. So what I would recommend that you do is give yourself 60 to 90 minutes each day. That will give you a lot of time to finish any homework and make sure that you really don't miss anything. So day 1 of our challenge, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at really refining thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about what it takes to be successful and around challenges, because our beliefs are what determine your habits, and your habits determine everything when it comes to building a successful business. So this is any kind of business. And if you bring this stuff into your business, it really becomes hard to convert your leads into customers. And on the other hand, if you can show up in your full power without all the weird mindset drama, and you can move these ideas, you'll confidently attract great customers and get them committed and get the yes. So before we go any further, I want to start by taking a minute to just take our distractions out of mind. So if you're looking at something that's distracting right now, maybe a phone or email, give me at least 10 minutes of your full dedicated attention, at least 10. And if you are not fully committed after 10 minutes, go ahead, open your email, check your phone. But I think by 10 minutes, you're going to be completely sucked in. So give me 10 minutes, close the door, turn off your phone. You've set aside time, you've signed up for this. So show up for yourself, remove those distractions. And this is how mindset blocks can really show up. We start off the whole conversation by telling ourselves our attention is best elsewhere and that this won't work for us. So I'm just going to put myself on do not disturb here and make sure that I am also 100% with you. So I've got myself in do not disturb mode, and I hope you guys do too. So this is not just about note-taking today. This is about real transformation. So I encourage you to, if you haven't seen, there's a homework PDF there in the Facebook group, or grab a pen and paper, get ready to take notes. It's not only what we say and what I'm going to be saying, but also the process of what you're learning being in a challenge as well, right? This is twofold, because I'm going to be teaching you about challenges, but I want you to also pay attention to what it feels like as a challenger. So it's like a challenge within a challenge, right? So take note of everything from, the email sequences that you might have been getting, the daily themes, the training, all the things that are tying this training together for you. So I want you to start with your intention for this training. You can type that into the chat or write that down. I would love to know, what is your intention for today? So make sure to throw that in the chat for me, and get clear with yourself about what that is today. What is your intention? Why did you show up today? All right. And I'm just going to check our Zoom chat here. Okay. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to VIP access. So I'll just let you guys know there will not be recordings after the challenge is done. It's done, but there will be some special offers at the end that you can get VIP access, which is all the recordings from the training, as well as our demo group. So you can see how the challenge structure is set up, so that you can set that up for yourself. So there will be an option for that at the end of the 5 days. Okay. So let's jump into our training. Day 1, cash converting challenge masterclass. So as I mentioned earlier, you can find your workbook in the Facebook group. Just look under featured and you're going to see day 1 of the workbook is there. So you have that for reference. Okay. So you are absolutely in the right place if you are a coach, business owner, service provider, or an entrepreneur, or if you call yourself a network marketer. And you're also in the right place if you are struggling with attracting a full-blown stream of new clients, if you're struggling with standing out and offering something unique and different than everyone else, if you're struggling with managing your time, so your time has become actually super impactful and you see a direct result in your sales with the time that you've actually invested in your business. And also, if you're struggling with scaling up your income or it's staying super consistent. Now, who this training is not for? This training is not for those that want to keep doing the same old thing as before and expecting to get a different result. Guys, the truth is social media has very much changed. It's not the same landscape that it was before, where 5, 8 years ago, you could just post something on social media and it would blow up. It's definitely not the same landscape as it once was. This training is not for those that aren't committed to executing and actually ready to make changes. And it's not for those that prefer unpredictability in their income and their business. This is about those that are really want to have a solid strategy that they can rinse and repeat and have that predictable income and consistency coming into their business. And also for those that believe that the internet never changes and that social media is still the best way to sell. I'm going to be hopefully you guys are going to see through enough of the facts and the stories and things that I bring today that there is a new way of selling and you just don't know about it yet. So my name is Ashley, for those that I haven't met. And what I do is I help coaches, business owners, and service providers create consistent, predictable, and scalable income so that they can create financial and time freedom. And the big promise of the training over the next 5 days is I'm going to teach you guys why the cash converting challenge method is the fastest and actually the easiest way to grow your business. So I have a 5-day launch calendar. If you signed up for the challenge, it will be a part of what's in your portal. If you have not signed up yet for the challenge and you just happened upon this group, go to karma.ashleyshaw.ca/challenge and you can sign up for free there. And it's going to give you access to a little module called your challenge setup. In there, you're going to see a training on the cash converting challenge, as well as the calendar. And you're going to have some training on setting up your group, a couple of little modules in there to help get you started and actually executing. So I used to have a life before challenges. So I want to take it back about 7 years ago. And 7 years ago is actually when I lost my job. So I had been in the fitness industry at that point for over 15 years. And when I first started out in the industry, I was a part-timer. I was actually just wiping down equipment. Didn't really think I was going to stick within the industry, although I loved it. I just didn't think there was opportunity there for me. And I then became a personal trainer. And over that course of that 15 years, I basically went from a part-timer to the president of a fitness company. And though although I loved the fitness industry, the problem was that love for it became a place where I had no time. I remember not being able to get time off at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month. So therefore, I had no freedom to really travel. And it was like frowned upon if you took a lot of vacation or anything like that. And I think I had to work my way up to 3 weeks. And that took like, I don't know if that was 8 years or something. Like it was crazy, like how long you had to put in before you got multiple weeks of vacation. And my income was really limited. I had to work really hard. And, it was absolutely more than a 9 to 5 by the time you added on a commute and Saturdays and all those things. And it just really started to feel like this, not the vision I had envisioned being in the fitness industry. I thought it was going to be everyone's healthy and we've got work-life balance. And that was all BS. Like that was not the scene that it was anymore as I worked my way up. So how many of you are in that same position where you're kind of starting to wonder, is this all that there really is here? I love this industry, but this isn't really what I want. Throw it in the chat for me. Let me know, like, is anyone else feeling like they're kind of in that same position, that they're really starting to wonder? So when the gym closed and when I moved back, I was in British Columbia at the time, and I ended up moving back to Ontario when the gym closed. And I had this opportunity to turn my side hustle into my full-time gig, because I had already been dipping my toe in the water with helping coaches and writing social media posts. And I knew that I really wanted to create my own freedom and to work with coaches. I loved working with coaches. I loved being able to take something that might have been complicated and really help simplify it down. But what I thought I needed to do is hustle. That's how I thought you needed to build a business. And I thought, okay, well, in the fitness industry, like if I'm a trainer and I want more sales, I just got to talk to more people. So that's what I did. I thought, okay, the more relationships I build, the more that I can sell. And I thought that those metrics were really connected, and that the more people that, I was working with at the time, only Beachbody coaches. So I thought, okay, if I can talk to uplines that have a team and I can do free training, then I'm just going to keep getting in front of more and more people. So once I get in front of those people, more people will promote me. And this is the fastest way to grow my business. So I traveled all over the US and Canada. I went to coaching retreats, leadership conferences, and I volunteered to do as much training as possible. I also got paid to do retreats and stuff as well. But it was like, I just thought the more that I hustle, the more that I'll make. And those things were connected. And I wanted to build a business that gave me freedom and that allowed me to control my income and create financial freedom to do all the things that I dreamed of. But what was happening is all the effort that I was putting in to build those relationships, it wasn't building my business really that fast. It was like this long drawn out process of trying to meet people, build a connection and not come off as like sleazy, and then hope that I could give them value by putting together a training and then executing that training. Like not a quick process at all. It would take months to convert people, which I'm sure you guys can attest to, that process of trying to meet new people online, trying to warm them up, not come across as weird, but get as many people, as you can to help in front of you to help them. And I was spending hours upon hours of time building relationships, doing free training. But the more time I put in, it was not like it was linked to the more money that I was making. I was doing a ton of things in my business, but nothing was adding up or bringing in more income. It was like this slow, inconsistent trickle that was happening. And then this happened. I got pregnant at the end of 2019, and this had been after 2 failed pregnancies. So I have a genetic condition, and basically I had 2 pregnancies before I got pregnant with my daughter. And I had multiple appointments that I could not miss. I could not be out of the country. I could not be hustling around doing all these things that I had done to build my business in the first place. And I couldn't travel. So all of a sudden, I had to stop hustling and I had to put my family first. I couldn't devote endless hours into my business anymore. I had to be much more strategic with my time and with my efforts. So I had to do something completely different if I wanted to grow. And I know, like, when I think about all the people all the coaches and business owners and entrepreneurs that I've helped in the past, let me know, guys, does this speak to you too? Because it's a very different landscape when you go maybe from having all this time you can devote to something, and then maybe that changes with kids and school, not being open, all these things that we experience as parents. And I think we have this idea in the back of our head sometimes that, oh, if I just had more time, I could get this running faster. And the opposite of that was true for me. I had lots of time. I was doing all the things I thought I was, but it was not directly linked to income. So I had to do something completely different if I actually wanted to grow. So what I did is I hired a business coach, and I joined a mastermind. It was a $20,000 mastermind. So it was like $10K for 6 months, $10K for 6 months. And I hired a copywriter who was $300 an hour. And I thought, okay, if there's anybody that can get me there, these two people should hopefully be able to teach me the ways and help me get there, because I had been in online marketing and online sales before I started my business for probably at least 13 years before that, with various things like trying to sell scarf rings, trying to sell things on eBay. Like, we had done it all, and nothing had really connected for us to, like, how do people actually do this? We see these stories of people making money online. What the heck are they doing? Like, what are we missing? We did not miss the work ethic. Like, we had it there, but we were just all over the place. We had no idea where to turn or what to do. So it wasn't until I actually had less time to build relationships that I realized I was missing a very key piece of a scalable strategy. I was still trying to build relationships one-to-one. And that the big aha for me is that I had to go from one-to-one to one-to-many. That was the turning point for me, that click of like, okay, I cannot just talk upline to upline to upline. I have to go at this bigger scale of how do I talk to not just one potential client, but many all at once. And I decided what I would actually do is run a 5-day challenge. So I had my business coach in one corner and then my copywriter in the other. And together, I put together a 5-day challenge. And so these were the results of my first ever 5-day challenge. And I only say this, guys, not to be like, not to just show these numbers and be like, yeah, this was so cool, it was crazy. The reason I want to share this with you guys is that there were a couple things happening here. One, this was my first ever 5-day challenge. And I had no real tech skills at all. It was literally a Facebook group, some posts, going live, and some emails to get it pumped up. Now, there was some ad spend to drive people into the group, but that being said, you don't have to have ad spend to get people into your group. There are lots of ways that you can organically build up a Facebook group with your connections that you already have, and you can invite people to a group. It's really, really easy. So in this 5-day posting party, I showed up 5 days live to teach, and the actual number of people that showed up for this and actually purchased was 326 people. So this launch brought in 48,000 in initial sales. That month was our best month ever. And what ended up happening is this challenge was so instrumental in breaking our plateau. It was actually the first year that we hit 7 figures through launching this challenge. So at the back end of it, you think about it, it's really crazy. Like, think about it like this. If I sat down and I tried to teach somebody for 5 days, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and I put in an hour every day, and then you multiply that by how many people are actually there, it would take me a ridiculous amount of time. Like if I was going to teach those 326 people all individually, it would be 1,630 hours. So that's 6 months at 8 hours a day. So if you truly, the cool thing about this is if you truly believe in your mission or your message or the thing that you've been put here on this planet to share, and you put that into a challenge, then your ability to impact people right now is like as big as it ever could be. It's second to none. So that is why challenges have been absolutely life-changing. This has been my life after being introduced to challenges. Okay. So what I learned from challenges is, number one, the people that aren't meant to be working with me go away. So what I mean by that is that the people that don't want to commit, the people that don't want to show up, like, Ashley talks too fast. She's too excited. I don't understand what she's saying. They leave, right? And the people who stay with you, they actually build a relationship with you over the challenge. They spend time with you day after day, day after day. They build rapport and a relationship, and those people will buy from you over and over and over again because they get to know you. And what it's really doing is helping you design your dream customers, right? It attracts them to you, but it also gives you the ability during a challenge to share your beliefs, your vocabulary, your thoughts. And it also gives you the ability to design and develop that ideal person that you actually want to work with. So it's absolutely the best way to put out there exactly what you're looking for and only attract those people that you really want to work with. Now, the second thing it does is you get to build a relationship and trust over those 5 days. So people will stick with you longer because they understand, your product, the psychology behind it, how it works. And they start to really know who you are and feel like they like you, they trust you, they want to buy from you. Over that 5 days, that consistency is so important in people feeling comfortable enough to buy from you. So now that we understand a little bit about the pieces of what challenges can actually do, let's talk about what a challenge actually is so that we all understand and we're all on the same page here. So before I do, I just want to make sure that there's no outstanding questions. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. Good stuff. Okay, I see Annalisa's in there answering questions, guys, making sure everyone's got what they need. So that is perfect. Just wanted to make sure that was happening in the background. Thank you, Annalisa. Okay, so let's talk about it. What is a challenge? A challenge is something where participants are guided through a sequence of activities over a certain number of days aimed at improving their skills or enhancing their ability or knowledge. So each day, participants are given tasks or training materials to learn from and implement. The challenge aspect comes from the expectation that participants implement what they've learned in real time, often sharing their experiences and results with the community of other participants. And it encourages this active learning and provides opportunities for feedback. So each challenge is designed with a specific goal in mind. While each challenge might be different, the general purpose of a 5-day challenge is to provide concentrated, practical learning experiences to boost sales effectiveness. So when you're thinking about your challenge and what you should actually be offering, it's something that you have a specific goal in mind that takes that challenger from the current mindset that they're in and brings them over to an ideal buying mindset. So we're going to get more into that tomorrow, but all that you need to understand at this point is that you have a goal in mind of what they need to learn so they are primed and ready to buy from you. So you may have noticed there is like an uptick like crazy of challenges on the internet. And the reason behind this trend is that challenges work. So who is using challenges to grow their business? Let's look at all the evidence here. It's kind of crazy. So Russell Brunson he's the co-founder of ClickFunnels, and he's used sales challenges as a marketing strategy for his business. He's known as the one funnel away challenge guy, and he encourages business owners to create and optimize funnels within their business. So one of their like insane success stories is they had 221,000 people register for their challenge. And from that, 17,000 people joined ClickFunnels. And that was in one challenge. So what they do is they basically rinse and repeat this challenge strategy every week. Like every week, they are getting like huge results from running these challenges. Now, he just bought another company called Magnetic Marketing. That was a company founded by Dan Kennedy, and they are doing the same thing there. They're running challenges now every week. And what they're doing is they refine the challenge by running it week over week. Then they flip it into evergreen. And now that is like a piece of real estate that you own that is getting people, it's selling people through your challenge without you having to do it live. So Russell Brunson actually said in his last challenge, I love this. I wrote it down. I thought it was really important. He said, I don't care if he was talking about all the different industries and companies that can use a challenge. He said, I don't care if you're a network marketing company, if you have your own business, if you're a service-based provider, challenge funnels are the way. I don't care if you have a big software company, an info publishing company. It doesn't matter where you or what your business model is. Challenges are the way that you guys can grow faster than anything else I know of. So pretty amazing, like especially coming from Russell Brunson, who is, he's an incredible entrepreneur and has just done an incredible amount in the digital marketing world. So if he's saying that and everything that he is launching right now is a challenge, it just tells us it's the new opportunity. Next one is Gary Vee. Gary Vee, you guys, I'm sure are all familiar with Gary Vee. He runs challenges as well. Shailene Johnson. I know most people on this call know who Shailene Johnson is. Challenges, 30-day challenge. Tony Robbins. Again, we all know who Tony Robbins is. This was his Unshakable challenge. And the same when it comes to all these other industries, right? We can find examples of other challenges in the industries. Other industries. Now, fitness is like an obvious one. That's where like challenges started, right? Exercise routines, all that kind of stuff. Nutrition, it's all over nutrition challenges as well. When it comes to leadership, organizing your home, like every single industry out there can structure a challenge around what you sell and the value that you offer. Whatever it is that you teach, it can be broken down into a challenge. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow around how to take your product and you work backwards. So whatever product you sell, whether that be a network marketing product or your own services, or maybe you're a makeup artist, maybe you're a photographer, whatever it is that you are, a challenge will work for you. It's like it's something that you wrap your business in. It doesn't have to be custom made. It's the opposite. A challenge will fit every single type of business. So why do challenges work? Well, business is simply a process of building trust with people. So listen to this for a second and think about this. Doesn't it take trust to be built for someone to actually read your social media posts? Like they have to trust you, right? To actually like engage and read your posts. And doesn't it take trust for someone to actually give you their email address? And doesn't it take trust to be built for someone to give you some of the money or give you some money to buy an offer from you? And doesn't it take trust for someone to actually enroll in one of your programs or offers? So if we think about this, isn't business then nothing more than a process of just building trust over and over and over again? So it seems to me that building trust is essential. It's an essential part of business, which would mean an entrepreneur or a company that can build trust the fastest is going to have a strategic advantage. And there's a book by Stephen Covey called The Speed of Trust, which explains all of this and breaks down that trust is actually built by demonstrating competency and character. So what that means is that trust is when you demonstrate your competency, which is showing what you actually know, proving that you're an expert, proving that you have an expertise, proving that you're knowledgeable, or at least you're connecting people with powerful information. And competency If that's the know-how, then character is your integrity. So when people see you in action, they can see how you operate, and that's how you're going to build trust. So building trust is the power. It comes from these tiny moments in the day-to-day actions repeated over and over and over again. And the best way to showcase that trust is time and time again. So a 5-day or a 3-day challenge is a perfect opportunity to showcase that trust. And trust is built in the everyday. Trust is not built in big sweeping moments. It's built in tiny moments every single day. So if we know that demonstrating competency and character is really how we build trust, then we need to show up and teach something, and we need to be consistent in doing it. So once you have trust, then the next part is you actually want to ethically persuade somebody into why they should buy your product if it's right for them, right? And there are 6 shortcuts to ethically persuading somebody once you have their trust. So the first, I'm going to explain all of these and what they mean. The first is reciprocity. The second is scarcity. The third is authority. The fourth is consistency. Then we have liking, and then we have consensus. So let's start with the first one. Reciprocity. It's the obligation to give when you receive. So why do you think they give away free samples in Costco? Well, they want you to taste and see the product. They want you to taste and see. Taste and see is a huge part of this framework. And some people would call this taste and see marketing, actually letting people taste and see you taste and then experience you and your goodness all in that short encounter. So challenges allow you to give and create that reciprocity effect. The next one is scarcity. So people want more of the things that are less. The challenge is scarce. If you show up here next Monday, we won't be live here. So it means you've missed it, right? All these videos are happening over the next 5 days. So there's scarcity in this model, and people do not tend to value what's not scarce. You think of the biggest sale days of the year. In Canada, it would probably be Boxing Day, and in the US might be Black Friday. It is a scarce opportunity. It's a 1-day event that people are like, I need to get on that because it's not going to be around tomorrow. That's how scarcity works. So the next one is authority. So people will follow credible and knowledgeable sources. Real authority is when you can demonstrate you actually know what you're talking about. You've got the results to show forward, and you can deliver on the promise and the breakthrough that you're offering in the 5-day challenge. So just think about it. When you get on a live training event like this, it's almost like, in a way, you're kind of putting on your white coat as a doctor and saying, hey, I'm an authority on this. I'm going to teach you. And that's the same, right? When we interact with people in uniform and doctors and police officers, like there's this authority effect that we want to trust them, right? That is how you build authority in this type of space, is you get onto an event like this, you teach and you train and you give people aha moments along the way. Next is consistency. So what consistency is, let's just get to the next slide here. Oh, hold on a sec here, guys. Sorry. There we go. Consistency is looking for and making commitments that can be achieved. So consistency is showing up for 5 days in a row. That is something that will help someone. You'll be able to ethically persuade them when you have that consistency and asking them to make small commitments. It is a series of small commitments along the way that creates a bigger yes. Back when I was in the fitness industry, we used to do consultations with people, and we would sell huge packages, like $10,000 a month packages. And in those packages, in those consultations, you were simply looking for small yeses along the way that would lead up to a big overarching yes. So it's all about that consistency and getting small commitments along the way that will ultimately get them to that bigger yes. And then we have liking. So people are similar and they are complementary and cooperate when they are in that group setting. So they like to have we all like to be part of a group, feel like we're part of something, something that people are cooperating. We're all on a similar path in the group. And the next one is this consensus and momentum. People will look to others to determine their own actions, the momentum in the group, and seeing others take action. That's how they actually determine, do I take action on this? And do I actually get bought into this? When they start to see other people around them do the same thing, they are in. It helps create that momentum and consensus to move forward. So a challenge actually provides all 6 of these things. And that's why it works so well for them to ethically persuade people to actually take a step forward and purchase your product or offering, because you're doing all 6 of these things in a challenge. So this is the old way. This is what I would call the hustler. So you start down here where you're posting every day on social media, right? Then you're DMing anyone that interacts. Then you're trying to bring up the product in a non-sketchy sort of way. Then you're sending them to your product page and hoping that they take action. That is absolutely the old way. So now what is crazy about this, the strategic way, the new way, is when you look at a challenge, it does all of these things. It's going to get people interested. It's going to, you're going to interact with them. You're going to be able to organically bring up the product. And then you're going to be able to send them to your product page or offer page and get them on their way to purchasing your product. So a challenge does all of those steps in an ethical way. So not only does it do all those things, but it adds trust and it ethically persuades people to buy. So now that you can see why everyone should be running a challenge, hopefully, let me know in the comments, does this speak to you? Do you want to make more money and do it in less time and have a bigger impact? That is the impact of challenges. So I want you to think about it like this, think about all the time you are spending right now creating a bunch of content that is going nowhere. Like you're posting, you're spending all that time putting effort into that, and it's not giving you anything. I'm not asking you or telling you that you need to spend more time. I'm saying divert that time to something more impactful, and you will see a crazy, crazy result from doing that. You will make more money. You will make a bigger impact. You will feel fulfilled. You'll have financial freedom, and you will create so many more options for yourself. And the person that you become in the process is this person that is capable of really, really helping people make transformation. So I officially want to welcome you to this day 1 of our Cash Converting Challenge Masterclass. And now I want to flip into asking you some questions and doing some self-reflection here, because our mindset is such an important part of how we operate and how we go into these challenges. So I want to talk about the setup here. And to talk about the setup when it comes to challenges, we have to start with limiting beliefs around money. We all have them. These are the beliefs about how we know and what we think the effort will be to get somewhere. The truth is, you can run an entire challenge for free with the phone that you might be sitting on right now, or the computer you're sitting on right now. You do not need a logo. You do not need an offer. You do not need an email list or a social media presence before starting a challenge. You need none of those things. The truth is, all that you need before starting is a result, a heart to serve, and passion. Those are the 3 things that you need to be able to serve it with challenges. So what would your life be like if you were doing 5-figure challenges in the matter of a few days? So I want you guys to write down your answers here. And you can scribble down the answer of things like, so what would your life be like? What would change? And we're not talking about necessarily, I want you to think beyond just what would change in your life in terms of the physical. What about the spiritual? What about the mental? What things would change? Okay. So I'll give you guys a minute to do that. Okay. So I also want you to think about, if you were to think about the reasons why you can't get there, what are your beliefs around why not you? Why can't it happen for you? What are you telling yourself? And why won't this work for you? Write those down too, because those, my friends, those are your money blocks. And those are not truths. Those are simply beliefs. Now, the crazy part about our beliefs, I'm just going to give you a quick little Joe Dispenza little lesson here. The thing about beliefs is that they are not true, but they are something that we've picked up somewhere along the way that has become wired in our unconscious. So that would be the reason why. An example would be, let's say there's somebody on this side over here that says, I don't have time. And then there's someone over here that has 5 kids and they're all homeschooled that is doing the exact same work, but believes they do have time and they get the job done. The circumstances are not different. It's the belief. It's what's up here. So that is your homework today from today's training. I want you to go to your workbook, which can be found in the Facebook group. I want you to answer those questions and to really think about what your limiting beliefs are. What are you telling yourself about why this won't work for you? And then what I want you to do is share your homework in the Facebook group. And I will be in there. I will be reading each and every one. And I want to know what is holding you back, because if you can identify that, if you can identify the things that are floating around in your mind and put a label on them, you can become aware of them and actually stop them from taking you down a path that you don't want to go. Okay. So share your homework in the Facebook group. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be reading everything. And I want to tell you what's in store for day number 2. So you've got your homework for day number 1, fill out that worksheet, post it in the Facebook group. And it's the 5-day cash converting challenge masterclass group. So if you want extra credit, go live and share your answers with us. I would love to hear those. And while you're committed to being here all 5 days, this concludes day 1 of the training. And we're going to be back here, same time tomorrow for day number 2 for another 4 incredible days. And so what's in store for day number 2 is we're going to start diving into some things around offers and how to actually get your idea and concept of a challenge actually starting to make sense and put together. So I cannot wait to serve you guys for the rest of the week here, another 4 days. And I really am thrilled that you guys have been here taking in the training, making lots of notes, and being fully active and ready to make a transformation. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you right back here for day number 2. Thank you guys.
Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.